What's the move, YouTube? It's your boy D Smooth and Trey Hickerson. The Cincinnati Bengals need to go on and take care of my boy because we're getting to the point where this getting ridiculous. Trey Hickerson, who led the league in sacks last year, on the worst defense in the entire NFL. I don't care if this defense was ranked 29th. They was putrid. They couldn't guard a baby stroller. That's how bad it was. They couldn't guard a bunch of old folks at a retirement home. That's how bad the Cincinnati Bengals defense was. And so to sit here with a straight face and not re-sign Trey Hickerson, who has been a top 5 pass rusher in the entire NFL, didn't he lead the league in sacks back-to-back years? And you're not going to sit there and take care of him? I understand you had to pay Joe Burrow top quarterback money. As a matter of fact, he's second in the NFL as far as getting paid on a year-to-year basis than Jamar Chase. That was your damn fault. Because the man did ask for a new deal the previous year, and you want to sit there and want to make him wait. What are you doing your way? Get a triple crown. Let the league in catches, yards, and touchdowns. Whose fault is that, Bengals? That's your fans. That's your fault with your cheap ass ownership. Not the Cincinnati Bengals, the ownership, who've always been relatively cheap. That's why Carson Palmer, with his overrated ass, wanted to dip from y'all. And then you had to re-sign T. Higgins. That was a top priority. And Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are so close that Jamar Chase agent and T. Higgins has the same agent. And Chase was like, look, I'm not signing if he's not signing. So basically the Bengals had to do right and take care of the both of them. Now, it's a little bit of, a little bit of fraud in T. Higgins' contract because basically it's on a year-to-year basis. It's not like how it's fully guaranteed like how Jamar Chase contract is. It's literally on a year-to-year basis. It's like the Cincinnati Bengals can literally move on from T. Higgins after this upcoming season. So, but hey, he still got paid. He still got some type of financial security long-term. So that was what Joe Burrow also wanted. He wanted Chase, he wanted Higgins, and he wanted Hickerson taken care of. Now, here's the problem. Hickerson is not getting taken care of right now. He said he is not playing under this current contract, and I don't blame him because he's really getting underpaid. Now, understand when you sign the contract, you're supposed to play at that contract, whatever you sign. I understand that. But when you outperform the contract, it's time to up and get paid. Now, the downside is he is about 30, 31 years old. And I understand when a team doesn't want to pay a aging guy because he in the NFL world, he is aging. 30 and 31 years old is still young in the real world. But in the NFL world, where you take a lot of abuse on the human body, yes, that is aging. That is old in the NFL. But at the same time, he still led the league in sacks last year on a horrible defense. And there was times where the Cincinnati Bengals, they could not take plays off because if they take plays off on offense, then next thing you know, they say they have a 14-point lead. You blink, you take a little quick 5-minute nap, that lead already gone just like that. There was times I was watching the Cincinnati Bengals and they had a 2-touchdown lead. I literally took a 10-minute nap. You wake back up, that shit already gone. Go ask the Baltimore Ravens. The Cincinnati Bengals could not close on defense because they was putrid defensively. Not to say you can go out and add a new defensive coordinator because a lot of the guys this past draft, they did nothing but draft defensive players, and that's understandable. I still believe they needed to add a running back who can get you at least 1,000 yards. To me, they still miss Joe Mixon, even though the kid Brown that they got is nice, but I'm still going to prefer Joe Mixon over that any day of the week, who is a consistent 1,000, 1,100 yard running back. Now, Jamar Chase is still going to be Jamar Chase. Burrow's still going to be Joe Burrow when healthy. T. Higgins still going to be T. Higgins when healthy. But this defense has to carry it because Joe Burrow had an MVP caliber season. The type of year Joe Burrow had, that was a deep playoff run type of Joe Burrow. The type of year that Jamar Chase had, which by the way, only a handful of receivers that you can count only on one hand, got a Triple Crown winner. So that doesn't happen too often. The latest guy that did do it was Cooper Kupp. Even as great as Justin Jefferson is, he didn't even have the damn Triple Crown winner. That's not something that's very easy to do, and Chase did that. And you still got T. Higgins, who is low-key a 1A receiver, but who is probably arguably the best number 2 receiver in the NFL, next to Devontae Smith. So it is very important that you took care of them pieces on offense, but they got to take care of my boy on defense. They got to, because if you're gonna sit here and not take care of Hickerson, then I don't know what are you doing. You're wasting your time because he said he is not playing under this contract that he's in. He's making about what, 19, 20 mil or something like that, somewhere in that range. And he's seeing how Myles Garrett, who he had more sacks than, got paid. He's seeing how Max Crosby got paid as well. He's also seen how Michael Parsons, who is a top 5 pass rusher in his own right, hasn't got paid yet. But low-key, hell, he could be waiting to get paid because he's trying to eclipse over 40 mil, just like Myles Garrett and just like Max Crosby. And the Cincinnati Bengals, they just don't have the funds for it. They just don't. There's no way in hell you can pay a quarterback $50 to $60 million a year. There's no way you can pay a wide receiver $40+ million a year. And then there's no way you can turn around and pay T. Higgins $25 to $30 million a year. that is between 3 players, that's damn near $200 million on your salary cap. So how do you build out the rest of the team? You should have figured this out. If you would have went to Hickerson earlier, you would have went ahead and he would have been fine. If you would have went ahead and take care of Jamar Chase early on, we've been taken care of. Joe Burrow, hey, that's the quarterback money. We all know how complicated that is. Hey, look at my Dallas Cowboys. We stuck here with Dak Prescott, giving his ass $60 million a year, and he ain't nowhere they're damn worth that. So you got T. Higgins. So that was a complicated situation. So if you also look at the Cincinnati Bengals going into this upcoming season, they don't have an easy schedule out the gate. Okay, the Cleveland Browns division game, toss that up. Jacksonville Jaguars, I believe they're going to get better. You're still going to have to go up against Travis Hunter and my boy Brian Thomas Jr. And Trevor Lawrence going to have some weapons to throw to. Is that a winnable game for the Jaguars? You damn right it is. Then you got the Minnesota Vikings, the LSU reunion going up against Justin Jefferson. We all know how that offense can put points up on the board. Now, J.J. McCarthy going to be that same quarterback that Sam Darnold was. Hopefully he eclipsed that, because we know Sam Darnold went to bed last year in the postseason. The Denver Broncos with Bo Nix in his second year going to be better. The Detroit Lions, a high-powered offense who we all know can drop 30 to 40 on you just like that in the blink of an eye. Then you got also the Green Bay Packers. Going to be Jordan Love's third full year starting. Going to be better. Josh Jacobs, still got him. So that's going to be another problem for this Bengals defense. Then you got the Pittsburgh Steelers. Lord knows how this offense is going to look, because they're still waiting on old Aaron Rodgers. They want the old Aaron Rodgers. Instead, they're going to get a old Aaron Rodgers. So that's out the gate. They're going to have some high-powered offenses they're going to have to go up against. And mind you, I didn't even bring up the Baltimore Ravens, a team who back-to-back times last year dropped at least 30 points on them. In the first game, went into overtime, couldn't close the deal. The second game, the Bengals had a lead, choked it up. Baltimore Ravens took the lead, and the next thing you know, they didn't look back. The Bengals was right there, and it was a back-and-forth game, but the Bengals was 0-2 against them. Lamar Jackson owns them, and in order to kind of at least slow down Lamar Jackson, you got to have some type of good defense, and the Cincinnati Bengals do not have a good defense. They have an awful defense. I'm not even going to say below average. They got an defense. They got dog water defense. They got trash defense. So hopefully this team can figure out what to do with them, because if they don't, just go ahead and trade them, man. Just please. Go ahead and trade Trey Hickerson, because it's not fair for him to sit here and watch everybody get paid while he just sitting there waiting like, damn, y'all gonna take care of me? No, that is not fair. So I do believe that it is time to take care of Trey Henderson. So this is gonna be very interesting to see what the Cincinnati Bengals do. I understand through this whole video I said Hickerson, Henderson, hell, it don't even damn matter. The man still is an elite pass rusher in this game. If I pronounce your name wrong, dog, my bad. But Trey Henderson, you deserve your bread and you deserve to get paid. But the Cincinnati Bengals ownership, you're not winning no Super Bowl without that man on the field. So you might as well just either trade him and get a first or second round pick out of him. But the only problem is, I don't know what you're going to get out of a 30, 31-year-old pass rusher when teams are going to be calling like, hey, yeah, we do want him, but for how much capital? Because number one, we have to pay him, and he's an aging pass rusher. So we're not going to give you a whole bunch that you think, man, go on, pay this man. Let's get this over with. Now, understand that when you do pay him, you are going to be strapped against the cap. Yeah, the NFL salary cap is going to go up, but you're going to be strapped like you in prison, locked up, and they won't let you out. The only way to get out of this is to go win a Super Bowl, and then we all deal with the consequences after that. That's what the Los Angeles Rams did. That's what the Tampa Bay Bucks did. When they won the Super Bowl, they spent money to bring guys back and try to re-up and try to win another one. But at the end of the day, they had to just blow it up, and that's what's going to happen. Either you're going to win a Super Bowl, or you're going to let Henderson walk, and you're going to be a top five offense and just either not make the playoffs, which was a damn shame that they didn't make the playoffs, because with that high-powered offense, that is a playoff team. Or are you going to get into the playoffs, probably lose in the first or second round, and then call it a day? So let me know what y'all think. Is Trey Henderson going to get paid for the Cincinnati Bengals? Should they move on for him? How is this team going to look coming out the gate, going into the season? Or is this team even going to make the playoffs for that matter? Y'all let me know what y'all think, man. Leave a comment in the comment section. Like the video. Y'all be smooth. I'll catch y'all next video.